So, some concerns remain, some arguments have yet to be settled, and the debate continues. Speaking of debate, let's bring in our panel. Skyping in from Washington, D.C., the Washington director of MoveOn.org, Ben Wikler, also host of The Good Fight, thus the image of slingshots behind him. And playing Goliath to his David is an intellectual giant on the political scene, the managing editor of the Shark Tank political blog from our South Florida newsroom, Javier Manjarres.
I think JD's been drinking some of that bourbon this morning.
Oh, now wait a minute. I'm trying to be charitable to you, Javier,
Yes,
and you're calling into question my soundness of mind and sobriety. Mercy. So with that in mind, Ben, first to you. Following Tuesday night's shellacking, President Obama has tried to reverse course, at least rhetorically, say he's open to hearing the Republican point of view on a host of issues. Is the president being sincere?
You know, JD, it's great to be here in this historic week from some perspectives, at least. I think the president has been sounding this theme not just since he was first elected, but since his earliest days in politics. You remember his first inaugural address was all about coming together between the two parties, and his signature accomplishment is passing Romney Care as a national program. So this is a president who consistently reaches his open hand out. The question now is, with Republicans in control of both houses of Congress, whether they're going to shake that hand and sit down with him to do some lawmaking.
Javier, actions speak louder than words. The president may have given lip service to cooperation and compromise. Has he ever really displayed it?
No, and I take that back, that comment I made about you. I think Ben has been drinking that Obama Kool-Aid or Obama bourbon, because that's ridiculous what he just said. President Obama has been the most partisan, divisive president in the history of the United States of America. He has never worked with the Republicans. Now he's changing his tune because he's looking out for himself. He's looking to help to what's left of his legacy or his presidency. He's looking to preserve that, and he's not going to work with Republicans. And if he does, there's something more behind that.
Confrontation coming on immigration. Let's listen to what Congressman Luis Gutierrez has to say, and then what Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus has to say.
I do, and I'm encouraging. I've been talking to you and other members, thinking it's going to be millions. The question is it going to be a half a loaf or a full loaf? And one of the things I'm encouraging the White House is to seek fairness and justice for every immigrant they can.
I don't believe a thing he says. So, I mean, he's been talking about immigration reform for 7 years. So, I mean, you're using his words as if they actually mean something. I mean, and asking me to respond to it.
Some disagreements there. There's Luis Gutierrez saying millions seeking, quote, justice. And Reince Priebus, again, a bit wary that the president's words carry with them any type of accuracy. Ben, is this part and parcel of a toxic Washington environment?
Well, I think Mr. Priebus has an exciting surprise in store for himself. Immigration reform is maybe the biggest issue where the president has spent year after year trying to work with Republicans, and many times having what seemed like a majority of Republicans ready to work with him to pass something. This is a president who's increased deportations, who's I believe tripled the size of the Border Patrol in the course of his presidency, and he's trying to get that last part through comprehensive immigration reform.
All right, I tell you what, let's give Javi 30 seconds to respond. Let's let Javi respond. 30 seconds. Javier.
Yeah, this is the same immigration reform issue that the whole country has pretty much rebuked. It's not going to pass because, look, well, you know what? He's going to sign it into law. He already threatened to do so. He will do so, and that's the only way he can get anything done in immigration reform or anything else in these next 2 years.
Well, unless the Republicans work in a bipartisan way to pass laws, as they're promising to do, I hope that you're wrong on that one.
Well, people
send
can
over some of that bourbon, Ben.
Well, be that as it may, drink of choice, and maybe this time of morning, just a good cup of coffee for us all. Certainly some sober conversations despite the smiles. We will continue on the other side of this break to talk more with our friends Ben and Javi on a